again, and another Abe reading or Abe update. The last one that we did was for March the 27th, and that was a Sunday, and it seems a rather busy day for Abe because we had two nudges on that day and actually a specific question and answer on that day. So I will, in this recording, I will read the second nudge of the day for March the 27th. This is but an important aspect we do so bring in at this point, and may indeed be pivotal for you as a species. And we say here, to share this as a point of place, as of here now your species are drawing back. They are not relating to that in which has been built previous. And it is but a pivotal point. What we say is in allowance of this gathering, but do not get caught up, for you are not a singular being, a drift in the world you inhabit. You do indeed relate to many things external of yourself. What we say here is not to protect, but connect. Readjust, not close off. It is not about closing down, but indeed in the opening up. There will be many a thing that will fall away, but there will also be differing points of relation, like inside yourself. The rewiring has occurred, so the outer will now add up, join up, sync up. It is allowance in this. Also, not to hold on, but to allow more. This is not to decipher and sift through, but to allow your point to change. And first and foremost, that is indeed in relation to self. Oh, there goes another small plane overhead. But hear this. Do not get caught up in this self-love paradox, the healing paradox. Allow the relational points to allow this. And if something continues to put a full stop in it, then it is your readjustment to yourself first. Listen to that, for that is in the step relate. And you see, relational value is here indeed to guide you, to allow you, not to close off and protect and disconnect, but to allow more, for you are allowing this relation to self. You see this now, do you not? For it must be seen here now. You are but at a transitioning point. Do not get caught up, for you see you are but indeed the most wonderful relational beings. Allow yourselves to come from a differing point now, for this is indeed your evolutionary step, and it is indeed to relate, with much continuation of relation now. So what Abe is saying here, and this is a nudge, and they came out and said, this is an important aspect that we bring forth now, and it's pivotal for your species. They feel it's important for us to get this. And they're saying is that at this particular point, they feel that we are drawing back, pulling into ourselves. And it's pivotal that we don't get caught up in what's happening. We don't allow all the events to kind of close us down as humans, bring up the walls, so to speak. To say that, we are not a singular being adrift in the world. The idea again that, we're just these separate islands. As the metaphysical poet John Donne said, no man is an island unto himself. We are not to close off, but to allow more of our relational connections. They said it's not to protect, but to connect, readjust, not close off. So if we feel something is uncomfortable for us, the point is not to just immediately close the walls in this kind of sense to protect ourselves and then, become unavailable, but rather to readjust and then find a new way to relate to the world or to people. So it's the readjusting to reconnect as opposed to disconnecting and closing down. Abe says, there will be many a thing that will fall away. Just like in ourselves, there's a rewiring occurring so that externally we can, and these are in capital letters, add up, join up, sync up. So the readjustments we make in ourselves, the realignments, is a kind of rewiring internally, and that then will have an external effect that we'll be able to add up, join up, resync up in different ways. But we cannot sync and rejoin up externally in different ways until we've first done the readjustment and rewiring internally. And first and foremost, this is indeed in relation to self. This is how we relate to ourselves. It has to come from an internal point first. But don't get caught up in the self-love paradox. It's like, oh, woe is me, it's all me, I'm hurting and then boom, this energy just pulls you into yourself, but you get caught in a self-love pity paradox. That's not the healing, says Abe. If something puts a full stop in front of you, then it's readjustment to yourself that you have to do. And Abe calls this the step relate. You make a different step. You step aside. You step around. You make a step. You relate in a different way. Every step we take in physical life creates new forms of relationships and alignments in our exterior life. And again they say, the point is not to close off and protect like a self-fear kind of mode, but to allow more. That's the transitioning point where we are now. To allow us to transition, we have to create these new relational pathways, not disconnect and close down. Abe said, do not get caught up, for you are indeed the most relational beings. That seems to be what we do well. We're always being told that humans are social beings. Abe is saying we're relational beings. We are here to relate to others. That's what helps to flow. That's what gives us our movement, our dynamism, our vitality. Not to go into a shutdown mode like being a recluse, but finding new ways to relate and move. Just like a stream, if it comes through a blockage, it'll find a way to get around that to continue the direction. And allow yourselves to come from a differing point now. Allow ourselves to find that new way around, because that's our evolutionary step, says Ebb. And that is indeed how we will move forward. So that is the nudge from 27th of March of 2022.